and a very warm welcome to a table for four. Today I'm joined by Carolina, Neve and Anna, and today we're going to be looking at gel plate printing. This is a relatively new process for me, but we're going to try and reveal a little bit of the mystery of it and realize it's not easy to make perfect images from it, but I want you to treat the table for four as an experiment today, and let's see how we get on. So without further ado, I'm going to make a start. So what is gel plate printing? Gel plate printing involves creating an image using this lovely, floppy, wobbly lump of silicone. The one thing I would say about this as an activity, it's quite expensive. So if you are thinking of paying for a gel plate, really think about the size that you need. I have got one large one for the workshop, but you can also work on smaller ones. It's a beautiful material for working with items of nature, items that have texture, and there can be some great surprises. You were asking earlier about, do fingerprints show up on it? Yes, they do, but I think that really adds to the patination of everything. So in the workshop, what you really need to do is, the whole process involves transferring ink from our little palette here, getting that nice and smooth, onto the plate, and then I'm going to start off with a lovely bit of leaf. We've got all sorts of items here for you today. We've got plants, we've got string, we've got buttons, we've got shells, we've got dried flowers. I want you to experiment and enjoy. So like anything, just try and get the right ink. This is like a lino ink that you can use for lino printing. We're going to be doing some lino printing later on, which is really good to have this. The room temperature can affect what you're doing. This is a slightly metallic silver, so I'm just putting a little bit on here. Sometimes people go straight onto the gel plate, but I'm going to mix it up here first. Put that down there. I want to get a nice even coat. I can feel that's a little bit sticky. It kind of makes a nice noise. And as soon as you feel you've got your roller covered, if you find you've got too much ink on the plate, just roll it off. You can be, the further down the handle you hold this, the more control you'll have. Okay, what else do we need? We need our item. So I'm taking a lovely fern that I picked this morning in the dark from my neighbour. I hope they don't mind. So sometimes the jury's out with when you're printing with flowers. Do you use the upper side or the underside? What we're going to do today is experiment. So I'm going to pop that down on the gel plate there. It doesn't matter that it's coming over the edge. The first bit of paper that you use, we're using quite low quality, just white paper. That is to take the residue of the paint off from around your area. This is the bit I absolutely love. You use the best tools you have when you're doing workshop with your hands. If your room is cold and you find the ink isn't coming off, it could be because it's a little bit cold and you need to get the hairdryer out. So initially, what you are left with is your first plate, okay? And that's got a lovely silvery look to it. I'm just going to put that to one side there. You then get your main piece of paper that you're going to use. This is the scary bit. You're going to take your fern off. I've got a good feeling about this. So rubbing this down. And so I'm now going to pull this back. And hopefully we should have a really lovely silvery looking, I'm quite pleased with that, silvery looking fern, okay? So you've got a really good, almost like, it's like a photograph, like a photocopy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Okay. So it's a slightly metallic look. So before we actually take part and start our gel plate workshop, tell me a little bit about yourself, Carolina.
So I am community artist and I have my own practice in a little studio in Moira where I live. I moved to Northern Ireland 9 years ago, so you can hear from my accent I'm not local. But since I moved here, and before I moved actually, I was community artist as well. So I did quite a bit of work like we are doing now, introducing people to be creative. And in my own practice, I like to be expressive, experimental. I like to create on large canvases, and quite reoccurring theme for my creation would be heart shapes, and this is something that I started to do after noticing for years heart shapes and random objects, and the hearts goes along with the hashtag love yourself first, because I took those heart I saw in nature or food as a sign or a reminder to love yourself first and start with yourself.
That's lovely.
And I also have like a small street art project where I create small hearts and leave them in random places for people to find as well, with the hashtag love yourself first.
And did you bring a little piece to show us today?
Yeah, I have like a small one, so if anyone finds
love yourself first, I'll just show that there.
Pick it,
that's really
keep
lovely.
it, or share it with a friend. Sometimes you can have a friend who goes through.
Just pass that to you.
So those are all handmade, and I aim to do 1,000 of them.
Wow.
At the moment, I'm like 350. So
isn't that incredible?
It's an ongoing process. And last year, I've been diagnosed with breast cancer, and doing those hearts, I was doing them before my diagnosis, but since the diagnosis, it became even more important for me to pass on that message. But it's more for myself. So whenever I write this love yourself first, it's like being a student who has to write a sentence 100 times to learn and to remember.
That's beautiful.
So yeah.
Thank you. And you're originally from
Poland.
Poland, and you have a daughter.
Yes.
So I think your daughter would be very proud of what you're doing, being on here today with us and sharing your story, but also giving personal details about the rationale behind your work. I think that's really special. I'm just moving on to you now. Niamh, hello. Thank you so much for coming in for us. Before we start, I just wanted to hear a little bit about what you do and what's your story.
So I'm currently an animation student in Ulster University. Over the past few years, we've done everything from like traditional 2D animation that's all hand-drawn to 3D CGI. And so now what I'm currently working on is the final project, where you're supposed to sort of submit everything you've learned and be experimental with it if you can, funny enough. And my project has ended up focusing on recreating stop motion, but in a 3D environment, and it involves very similar work to this, where you're overlapping textures and you're trying to build images that are like very not busy but very engaging. And increasingly, like, you will find that people make these make stop motion animation but in 3D engines for like 3D CGI kind of film. I think Shaun the Sheep, there's another example. Shaun the Sheep's another example where it originally would have been all done with like wee models on a table and wee bits of wool and all that, but nowadays it's more sort of people building those things in a 3D environment.
You brought a couple of examples here, and I'm just going to show some of your beautiful linear sketches. I'm just going to show that.
It's hard to portray animation on a flat piece of paper, obviously, but...
Thank you. I'm just going to pass it on so you can have a look at that and pass it down. And also these, which I think it's really lovely to let people see the initial process. It's like blinking and thinking, and then you create something. Thank you so much, and it's lovely to have you here. Now moving on to you. Would you like to introduce yourself? You're Anna.
Yes, Anna, and originally from Hampton in England. Moved over here about 15 years ago. And I make jewellery. I'm looking at the doilies, and I have a rolling mill.
What's a rolling mill?
A rolling mill it's a bit like a mangle, but steel. And you can put textures on top of silver or gold and roll it through.
Oh wow,
and
how beautiful.
Picks up a texture. So I was eyeing up your doilies, thinking
well, I have a necklace,
they'd be
please.
perfect. It's lovely to get the texture.
Idea.
Yeah. So I work mainly in silver, but add gemstones and bits of gold. So
Or perhaps there could be a beautiful collaboration between animator, artist and jeweler. So I hope you find this process inspiring, and I do like the take on the doily. I think we've liberated the doily from its cellophane package in the bottom of cupboards. I think I had a pack of doilies that moved with me over the past 30 or 40 years, but finally they're out there. So let's release the doily, get gel plate printing. So you just put your gel plate down, try and get your surface as smooth as possible. I'm just going to give a little bit of attention to Carolina here while you two are working. If you get the ink evenly on your roller, that's perfect, and then go straight onto there. What are you going to have a go with? You're going to
just trying to have it evenly layered at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm tempted to use the nature, so the shells and the leaves probably will be my first.
I'll give you some shells too. That's beautiful. I think I love your technique. You're very neat. And what have you decided what you're going to press down? Are you going to do shells or?
Actually, would I be able to do one of the doilies or lace or something?
Of course you can. Well, you just be my guest. We've got about 500. Seriously, when you pick them up. But what you can do is you can.
One of these.
I love a positive reaction to a doily.
They are pretty though. Like,
they are so, to me, they just are. But here, to me, that looks like a very famous French design label for a luggage label. But what you can do is you can also cut. So have an experiment with that. Make sure you've got one. There we go. We have brought back the doilies. Welcome back, doily. We've missed you. There you go. So it doesn't really matter which way you go, but I think try downwards.
Okay.
Well, with cutting paper, we were talking earlier on that you have to control your facial expressions because kids like to stick their tongue out whenever they cut the paper.
and grown-ups.
I think that is the ultimate in concentration, though.
Yeah.
Who can thread a needle without poking their tongue out? There we go. That's lovely. That's brilliant. I'm going to let you do the reveal.
That's, well,
You
not
see,
much left.
even that, I think, is beautiful. Oh, so you put some shell down first?
Yes, yeah.
This is going to be just gorgeous.
We'll see how...
No pressure or anything. So why don't I give you this to put your bits on?
Okay.
So even that in itself gives, some people would maybe to use up any residue ink so nothing is wasted. You could then put that onto a piece of fabric. Wow, that's going to be amazing. So that's your kind of residue, but keep that. Don't dispose of it. We'll just put that over there to dry. Let's just make sure there's no red on the back. I'll put that here. So all your pieces are really important to keep because they're part of the process. These are beginning to really almost develop like a photograph. I'm going to put these here. Just move slightly. We'll come back to these. Okay, Anna, when you're ready for paper, let me know. So now, what ideally I would do the next time is cut that completely, but have a go with, have you done your pressing down? Are you ready to reveal?
Yeah, I need to take it off carefully because some of it's so like
That's lovely, don't worry. So I've got some examples here of pieces that I've done. And some of these are made up using the leftover flowers that have got ink on them.
Could you pass me?
I didn't want to dispose of them, so I added them to my gel plate. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Ciaran,
What would you need?
just a piece of paper, please.
Piece of paper. Now I think what you'll find. Did you want some as well?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Just by looking at yours, I think the top half is a lot better than the bottom. So that's possibly to do with the amount of ink, but you're still going to get an absolutely beautiful piece. It's going to look like a floor tile. Very excited about this. So if you can imagine, you can print onto, there you go.
Thank you so much.
I don't want to look, this is too exciting. Oh, that is incredible. We've got an absolutely beautiful reveal taking place here, and I don't want to ruin this moment. I just want you to look at it. Oh my goodness, that looks incredible. It looks like some Indonesian carving or something. That's so beautiful. Again, we're getting very kind of molecular looking pieces. Can I just have a good look at that? So you can see there, that texture, you've got a beautiful purpley brown. It's like something from a different era completely. It's wonderful. Are you pleased with that?
Very.
I think that's gorgeous. So from animation to gel plate printing, I'm going to put that to dry on one side. While you've got the ink there, why don't you just roll out as many, go for some textures, take some shells, have a little go with those. Carolina, I think you're ready to...
Yeah, I need the page. I'm experimenting still.
Yeah. So what will happen, because you've put maybe more ink down, you won't get the same definition of the bird. But this, like I said, is a workshop. It's all about experimentation. So put that. It sometimes is hard to... What some people do is go around their boundary first. So you kind of define that slightly, so you know where to put your focus of your fingertips are good as well. Anna is continuing with her beautiful journey with her really delicate flowers. I mean, if I didn't know, if I hadn't met you all, I would relate that work to you, Anna, as a jeweler. It's got real beauty and elegance and slightly misty looking. It's wonderful. So you're working on shells now, are you? So the thing with the shells is really put as much pressure as you want, even rolling the shell on it. Like the shell is the most beautiful piece. It's the most beautiful thing of nature, but you've got a lovely serrated edge, you've got lines here, then you've got this gorgeous piece here. So you can actually get quite a good roll with it as well. Okay. I love what you're doing, that's great. Some designers take seaweed and lay them on as well, and then brush that down. So when you are using your thing that you're imprinting straight onto it, you might not need to do the 2 or 3 bits of paper. How did that turn out? Oh, I love that. Again, I think
it looks like a house, doesn't it? With the bird on top. It was just a bit of that.
What you might want to do is, maybe needs a little bit more contrast, maybe something slightly darker, but not all over. So if you look at your design and say, maybe a bit of definition here, get a tiny bit of maybe the black. Could we have the black ink, if that's there? And then isolate that directly onto your roller and do it small. There's a tiny roller here. These are the rollers that I ordered for the project. A bit small, but they have their uses. So seeing as I have the most biggest hands imaginable, these are perfect for, that's exactly what you're doing. So you could maybe add a tiny bit of black with this. Okay. But I think that again, as an artist, you could just get some beautiful effects where you print. If you are printing onto something that's really, really sticky, you can use your rubber stamp, your gel plate as a rubber stamp. I've also got for you to take home with you in your lovely table for 4 bag is some of this beautiful fabric that is really durable. And if you, oh my gosh, look away now. Look at this. That is beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
That is lovely. Again, that's lovely. I think you found your niche. Forget animation. I think you're gel plate printing. So all your work is beginning to tell a story. It's got texture, it's got shape. You didn't know that was going to. What I love, it looks like a bird has been walking around on the sand. You know when you go for a walk on the beach with the dog and you see where the birds have really daintily left their footprints? To me, and that's quite like you, very dainty, very deft. I think people are like their work, and I think that's why we become artists, to express ourselves, and you are expressing your work through hearts and everything like that. I think that's gorgeous. So Anna, what are you going to go for now? Did you want to another. Did you want to try the hydrangea?
Oh, I'd love to, yes, please.
Do you mind if I lean across? I'll take the white one. You could just lift that up for me.
Yeah, the whole time.
Thank you. So, again, when you're doing this, hydrangea leaves, I think it's something to do with hydrangea, hydra, water. These plants just love life. They will not give up. I've left hydrangeas in water for 3 months and they're still giving their best. And that's what I love about them. They're sturdy and they also are great for creative activity. I've sewn with them, I've sewn onto them, but you've got some nice leaves there. I like it when you get the, there's a heart there. Look, there's a little
There
heart
you
in
go.
there. So
There
I
you
found a
go.
heart today. So have a go with that. I have found with hydrangea, the best effect is to actually take them off and press them down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
You take that for you.
Thank you.
No.
Paper.
Yeah.
TP.
What I want you to do now is we're just coming to the closing stages of our print workshop. So I'd like you to print up your last print and maybe try something that you haven't tried before.
Thank you.
And we will then have a look at everything that we've created.
May I have a button?
Button?
The buttons, yeah.
I'll let you choose your button. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, this is beautiful.
Another home.
Oh, that's honeycomb, that one. This, I have to say,
Oh, that's gorgeous.
is,
Lovely.
this is what I'm saying. The more you do it, the more you develop, the more depth.
Yeah.
Would you like to hold that up to their camera there, just so that they can see that for you? And you have really built up something. It almost looks like a butterfly. There's a lot of animation going on in that.
Coraline.
It's beautiful.
It is
Yeah.
actually.
It's a vibe of Coraline.
That's
I
beautiful.
love this animation. So
That is lovely.
yeah.
And what I love is that kind of slightly silvery. So that is mixing. What colours did you mix with that?
A gold and black.
Gold and black. So you get a lovely metallic look. So we're going to just help Anna with her final reveal of her last piece, because what she has to do is pick off the flowers, which will take a couple of minutes. So while Anna's doing that, we're just going to have one last try. I would love you to try with the feather, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
So put plenty of ink straight onto your plate. Okay, so or just put what you have onto the plate, and then maybe try and spread out the feather slightly just to get some texture. A lot of it can depend on how much pressure you use when you're rolling, but also how much pressure you're putting down. That's lovely. So as an animator, did you think that you would be doing this process?
Well, yes and no. Like, you can end up, you'd be surprised, like, where research takes you. Like, the weird thing about animation is the research part. There's an awful lot of it if you're developing your own sort of concept.
Here you go, Anna. There's a
Drop my paper. I was going to use green.
Will the green on green?
I,
Yeah, go
I was
for it.
thinking because it's darker, I
Be
might
gorgeous.
pick up.
But you've also got white as a reserve.
Yes.
I'm liking this. This looks quite delicate. This is to add to your ceramic tile range. Oh my goodness. We're in an Etruscan villa again. There's a real heritage look to this. And this isn't anticipated. This is purely by default. And let's just show everybody that. I think that's really quite beautiful.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Do you know what I've just thought of? A stop motion flip book of all your squares, of all your designs that you've done would be quite lovely. I'm just going to put that there, and this is, so I think, so our preliminary with the feather is like that.
Oh,
But
I
I've-
see. That one might be.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you, so you could also experiment. Long ago, when people were learning animation, acetate was the medium that was used. Where you would draw a figure and then trace over it in acetate, move it slightly, and keep doing it. So acetate is a nice medium to think of for doing gel plate printing, almost like virtual stained glass. So just almost finishing off here. I don't know quite what will come off with that last one, but it might use
Maybe
up your
something-
ink beautifully.
It's mad that you say that, because that is what I'm going
If you like just hold the corner of that for Anna, to hold that down, that's lovely. And we're going to peel this off.
like
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Again,
very
that's
subtle, but I like the
yes.
colour.
It's really like the moon.
See
that
the
is beautiful. So I think
feather.
you know that you just need to maybe more pressure, more
Yeah.
definition of the leaf. So I just want
Yeah,
to
I
show
think the background,
that.
if that was a bit lighter.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't that
Nice.
beautiful? I'll let you
I
just
like
have a good look at that.
Lovely colours.
So
Could I have one of the
we'd,
round?
I think we'll just do that and then we'll just come to the close of the workshop then, because there we go. So what I'd like you to do is just place all the pieces in front. Do you know what I've just had an idea that would really, really work as well? Would be something like a fishbone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I was in Donegal Pass yesterday at a famous fabric shop and they just had a delivery of live crabs, but the crabs escaped and they were running. I'm not joking. I know you don't believe me. They were running down the street and people were trying to catch them, and I thought, is there a hidden camera somewhere? I just walked past. I didn't try and save the crab, but it was surreal. But the crabs were so beautiful. I thought you'd make a lovely gel plate prince. So on that note, I am just going to ask you, did you enjoy the process?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you feel that you could use this in your practice?
Yeah.
Personally, professionally?
Yeah, personally, very much. Professionally, working with children probably would be challenging.
Yeah.
But with adults, absolutely.
It's a good medium to know, isn't it?
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah.
You've been wonderful, and you've
Thank
just
you for
produced some
inviting me.
absolutely beautiful. What I'm looking forward to is seeing these in situ in your studio, and I hope that you've enjoyed the process. It's been wonderful having you, Carolina. Thank you. Oh, Neve. Animator to gel plate printer. The work that you've produced is really delicate, really beautiful, very refined, very, very sophisticated. Almost looks like book plates from Italian books that you see if you go to an old monastery or something. And that is the beauty of working with something where you don't quite know what the end product is going to be.
Totally.
Have you enjoyed the process?
Absolutely, yeah.
And would you be happy to take your gel plate home with you and have a go at home?
Totally, yeah.
Well, you've been wonderful. And in fact, I know you're in the middle of all your studying at the moment, a really important time for you. So really appreciate you giving up all your time today to come and help us. And we look forward to seeing you again at a table for four.
Thank you.
And Anna, the jeweler turned printer, how have you enjoyed the process?
I've loved it.
Yeah.
I think I need a bit of work.
But I think, do you know what I've just thought of? If you had chains or you had bits of jewellery,
Yes. Yeah.
things, I think if you work with things that you know, that
Yeah.
you love, you know if it's going to work. So again, this was your experiment. What I would love to see is how you get on maybe with some of your jewellery, some of your designs, and do some more gel plate prints and keep in contact with us, and hopefully
Definitely.
we'll see you again on a table for four at another stage. Thank you so much. I'd just like to thank everybody for coming in today, and for those of you who want to find out about gel plate printing, start small. It is an expensive product to buy, but once you've bought your gel plate, you can use it indefinitely. Look after them, wash them in warm soapy water, let them air dry. I know we didn't use the hairdryer today. I'm really disappointed because on TV they always use the hairdryer. Leave them to dry, even put cling film around it, and enjoy the process and experiment. Like if I see a heart in whatever shape or form, I'm going to do a gel plate print of it. And you can make cards, you can print onto fabric. I think what's beautiful is you don't quite know what's going to happen. It's like the old-fashioned printing process of photography, where you went into the studio, you shook something around, and then you waited for the reveal. So I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been absolutely wonderful having you here. And I hope we've inspired you at home to maybe have a go with gel plate printing. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.